So with the world being full of scams and people that are just trying to rip people off in general, I think it might be time for me to sit down and share some expertise that I have gained over the last couple years, especially when it comes to figures. So today we're going to take a look at some fake figures that I have gotten in my possession over the years because I've been wanting to do this video, and I did it before, but I want to do it properly now, and since I moved, I think this is the best time to do it so I can huck these things out. But let's move over to my table right here beside me and take a nice closer look and point out some things that are very important that you need to know when it comes to identifying if it's a real figure or if it's fake. So right here in front of me, I have two different figures. These are some of the lower scale, and I have some higher scale for later on just to kind of evaluate and show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to move that over a little bit because, yeah, this is in the way. Hold on, let me just, I have things that are just so you know what to look for. So, right off the bat, there's not a lot of figures that do this, and this right here just feels like cheap plastic. Like, it doesn't feel really good. Then you have this one right here on the front. You see like name brands. You see labels. You see stuff. You see the what series it is. You see descriptions. You see all that. You see Bandai. You see Bandai. You see Band Presto. You see all these things all over it, and that way is a very big distinction. And it's not like crappily photoshopped. I think on one of the higher scale figures I have, it's like crappily photoshopped on it. So let me turn to the side where you see this is where the figure looks like. This is pixelated, drawn out, like stretched. It doesn't look good. And even the background looks crappily photoshopped. This high quality picture, you get to see what the actual figure looks like. I mean, you do with this too, but you can tell it's not crappy like that. Then we flip to the back. There's no description, no like another picture or anything like that. Whereas this one, it's double-sided. It's once again, this side doesn't have a lot of the labels here, but it does still have a Bandai Spirits. Still has like age 15 older. It has all the like Japanese wording and everything that you need to look for when it comes to it. And on these, it has this stuff right here. It has all the warning labels, the numbers if you need to get a hold of someone, because, well, for one, Japanese companies are really good about customer service, and they really try to fix things and make sure you're happy. But they have all that stuff. You got QR codes, everything. Unlike this, where it's just a random barcode from China that says Sleeping Beauty and literally just has love on it. It's supposed to be To Love Ru, if I remember correctly, I think where she's from. And it doesn't have anything with the actual series on it. So let's take a look at this figure as a whole, because I don't think I actually have not opened this before. This is my first time actually getting a hold of this, and I'm going to throw it out, to be honest. Oh no. Okay, so let me move this nice nature. We'll take a look at the crappy one first. So let's take a look. First of all, the packaging is just, it's not the best. I mean, why is it? The box came destroyed, don't get me wrong. That's how it came. That's how they shipped it in a bubble envelope, like a big bubble envelope. No care whatsoever. So obviously they didn't care about this. It shows the kind of cheapness that's with it. Okay, and here she's supposed to be laying down and is supposed to be looking at you. So let's take a look at the figure itself. You can still see the lines a little bit of the molding of the mold cast itself. Right there, it's a little blurry, but right there are some lines. You're not supposed to see the lines. You're not supposed to see any of that. And official figures don't have removable tops unless it's a 18 plus figure. This one has a removable top, so it's made for people who want to have naked girls around. That's what this figure is for, apparently. God bless my mom. She's the one that bought it. Hi, Mom. Sorry, I'm using this as a focal point to teach people. But yes, the quality itself, this one, it feels okay, but a lot of times there is a smell to it. There is like a cheap plasticky feel, kind of like if you go to the dollar store and you get those cheap plastic toys. That's what they tend to feel like. With this here, This one's a little bit on the better side, but you can take a look at the eyes. They look like just some stickers, not really stenciled in or with a lot of care. It looks like they took some tweezers and just put them in there. So overall, this isn't a bad knockoff, but it's pure knockoff. Oh my word, if you look at the hair too, I just realized, see that splotch right there? That's not supposed to be like that. That's just leftover residue, and you can scrape it off. Like, it's not even fully like put together. The pillow's plasticky. Usually they're hard, they're not plastic. It's kind of like a stress ball a little bit, and we'll squeeze, and then this little crappy thing that literally they looked like they took off a shag pillow. So yeah, that's the crappy figure. And now if we put it to the side and we take out an actual figure, whereas we have Nice Nature. She's my favorite Uma, one of my favorite. I have two. I have Die with Scarlet, and then I have Nice Nature. With her, you can see right off the bat, it's a little more care into the eyes. It's not too bad. It's kind of zooming in, but you can see it's not too bad when it comes to the eyes. It wasn't just slap on done. It was actually put with care and machine precision. The quality is higher on this. There's no splotches in the hair. It's all nice and seamless. While yes, there is molding on the mold leftover, I guess, seal between the hair and everything else, there's nothing in the rest of the figure. Usually this is where you find those on the cheaper side figures. This is a prize figure. Now the prize figures are usually what you find in vending machines, raffles at the gas station, stuff like that in Japan. So these are the lower end figures. So you will see some mold like lines and stuff like that, but that's fine. They do it tastefully with the hair, and that's usually where you can only see it. And with these, there's multiple parts and stuff to help transport it. And inside the Nice Nature box, it's actually wrapped perfectly. It came with a bunch of bubble wrap. It came with like pieces separated, nothing was together. And just in general, it was just good. And see, with this one, it has a base. It's hard plastic. It's not crappy from a shag pillow like that one. And even on the base, there is branding for side games. So everywhere you see branding, unlike the knockoffs, they don't use branding. And see, the shag has left its mark on my playmat. But overall, one of the biggest things I could say is look out for branding. If it does not have branding on it, especially with the lower end figures, avoid it. It's obviously fake. There are some bootlegs I don't have that people make for characters that never get these figures. Early on when Uta was announced and like One Piece Red was really big, they had like maybe a figure or two and we didn't have them in the States at the time. I bought a bootleg one where it's her in a big puffy jacket, which up until recently there wasn't one, and I usually don't do that stuff, but I really love Uta. She's one of my favorite One Piece characters of all time, but that's beside the point. Point is, it was very obviously recast or whatever they were kind of like spilling it as. It was fake. There was nothing if and buts about it. It was straight up fake. So now that we are done looking at the lower end stuff, let me pull out a higher scale figure as well as a higher scale bootleg, and let's take a look at that. So now let's talk about the higher scale tier bootlegs and actual figures. This one, Kiyohime Lancer, I really want a real one, but they're like $300 or $400 now, and at the time they were like $250. I was a fool and still young into collecting and really didn't know much, and I think this is before I went into what I am now, as you know, working for Baksha-chan and getting all this information. I convinced my mom to buy this off Amazon. Problem one, it was from an unknown seller that really didn't have like branding and stuff like that, so it was kind of, shouldn't have bought it, but for $100 it was kind of like, I could have this 250 figure for $100. That's a steal. And well, I kind of regret it, but I've held on to it for a while now, and let's just take a look. Now this box is a lot more stiffer. The packaging for the figure itself is better, and we'll go into it. The packaging itself is on scale with a real figure of this quality, but not the same quality of that. Once again, you don't see branding anywhere. You see, let me flip this around because of how big it is. You don't see branding. You don't see fake Grand Order branding. You don't see Type Moon. You don't see any of that branding on here at all. And once again, it looks pixelated. It's stretched out. It's not high quality pictures. When you spend money on these big expensive figures, they are high quality packaging, and this is not it. A lot of it won't say pre-painted on there, and this honestly isn't even a 1/7 scale. It might be. It might generally be a 1/7 scale. The next one I'm pulling out is a 1/7 scale, so it could be. I'm not exactly sure. But usually they do have that, which kind of makes them look more legit. Then we come to the back, and once again, it's that pixelated, fresh off the printer looking stuff. But the design of the box is way better. It definitely is okay. I won't say the best, but it is okay. I have seen, this is one of the better bootlegs I've seen. It's still very obvious, but it's presentation wise, it looks better. Then once we get here, you don't see any numbers. It is in Japanese, but it is also in English, which really is kind of weird. And then it's in a bunch of different languages right here as well. So there we go. That way you can see. There's a bunch of, I think it's in French, English, Spanish, and some other language. I can't really identify it. But it's in 4 different languages. And the only logo that is on here is Comic Shop Location Service. 888 Comic Book. ComicShopLocator.com. That is it. That is not the company. That might be the company that makes it, but I think this is the company that distributes it. And it's printed onto the thing. It's not a separate sticker like with the Daiwa Scarlet or the Daiwa Scarlet figure I am going to show you. And then with the Nice Nature I had before, those were stickers. Those were raised. They were not part of the box. They were put onto the box. This does not have that. So let me get the Daiwa Scarlet box, and then we'll look into the figures. So this is the bigger figure. As you can see, I have to stand up to try and like maneuver it. But as you can already start seeing, it says painted plastic, not pre-painted, just painted plastic 1 scale figure, complete with product stand, blah, 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 blah. Then down here, if I bump the camera, we have logos. Like I said, this is a separate sticker that I could peel off with my finger, different languages, Japanese, the name of the figure, actual photo. That is not crappy photoshopped on there. That is another big thing. As you're seeing, the differences are becoming very obvious. And this was not a cheap figure. I got this as a Christmas gift. This was not cheap. But you see different pictures of this figure. Once you start spending money like on this scale, you are expecting certain quality, and this definitely gives it. I'm going to turn this around, ignore that noise. There's more stuff there. There's a QR code. Like I said, it just really stands out with what you are getting for this figure. And yeah. And as you can see right here, the side view, completely different. And as we go back to this one, you will notice you notice a lot more differences now. And that's what this video is about. It's to teach you the differences in these figures. Now, I will admit, I might keep the Kyohime. I'm not too sure, because I have yet to get a real one. And once I get a real one, I could probably get rid of this. But this box has been through a lot. So, with this one, as you can see from just inside that, this one still has decent protections on it, but like, you can just tell. It's that cheap plastic again. Ignore the dust. It's, been on display for 4 years, but you can see this base is not the highest quality, and I'll show you once we get the Daiwa how the quality differs. Once again, while this is a little more higher scale of a bootleg, you can just tell it's fake. Just like even right here, the shoes aren't supported, and I think in the real one there's a little thing like right here to connect them, so it's still not like floppy on the base, which this one kind of is. This is hard plastic. I mean, the quality of this is not too bad for a bootleg. This is definitely on the higher scale of it, but just overall, you can just look and feel. And when I first got it, it definitely had that plasticky fake smell. Once you get a little closer, and I think if you look at her body in some points, you can still see the mold. But just overall, while yes, this is a higher scale bootleg, if you look at the face, you can see it's not that good of a quality, unlike Daiwa. Then you have her giant thing here. This is not that strong. The real one's a little bit stronger. It doesn't move that much. Yeah. I mean, for a bootleg, they did pretty alright overall. I will still say it's very obvious when you see it now, and like I said, when I first bought it, I didn't really know. I was not that educated like I am now, but I know a lot better, and I'm using this to teach people. So now, let me pause real quick once more and go take a quick look at the Daiwa Scarlet figure. So, looking right here, you see the top down of her. You see the details that's put into it, from the snow and the glitter and stuff of that nature, to the bow, to just even the stand. So I'm going to pop her off the stand. This is very scary for me personally, because this is a very expensive figure. Oh, this is scary. And we're going to put her down. A bit right there. Because I want to take a look at this first. As you can see from the stand, it's just completely different from a clear plastic like the other one is. There's design, it's raised a little bit, it's very themed and thematic to this. And I believe the real one of the Kiyohime is like a beachy, sandy base too. And then we move on to the figure itself. It's heavy. The Kiyohime is super light plastic. This is actually heavy, thick plastic, especially when it comes to this Christmas quilt, which is very detailed down to the core down here. It's very detailed, very heavy, very thick, just overall good. The plastic shiny on it. There's no mold lines. Even in the hair, you don't see any of the mold leftovers. It's actually really nice. And it's a very high quality figure, and then it doesn't need support, unlike the other one that kind of needs a little bit of support to hold up. And yeah, it's just very obvious, especially if you handle stuff like me. Now, a lot of times I can pick it up and just be like, yeah, this is fake, because the highest, well, the bootlegs of the higher quality ones are not heavy plastic because it requires them to spend more on it, and they got to cut costs. So this is definitely one that, you know, I'm very glad that I am able to use to educate you and like show you guys about. There we go. And she just stands on her own, no issues whatsoever, and she looks fantastic. Very happy with this. Once again, thank you 12 for this amazing Christmas gift. Now let's pop back over here and just quickly go over what I discussed. So as we went through and I showed you here, we have a bunch of different figures that you can easily tell what was fake and what was real. Easy things to look out for is brand logoing, such as with Uma Musume, the actual Uma logo. You have Bandai Namco, you know, it just really depends on where the figure is from, but look for the name branding of the series as well as the company that really produces it. Then when it comes down to it, is it really photoshopped on her like the cheaper ones were? Is it down to like quality? It just really depends. So look out for all those different things, those quick little tips, and I think you can avoid getting fake, you know, bootleg figures and fake products in general. But we usually host a panel at Animazement, me and Boxu, talking about this stuff. So if you're in Animazement, we would love to see you. I mean, it'd be pretty cool. So just a quick shout out to the patrons wherever side they're going. Thanks to you guys, this stuff's possible. Thank you for supporting me behind the scenes. I hope you guys enjoy the content you get to see over on, you know, Patreon and exclusive stuff. So let me know what you guys think. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And if you want to go over to Patreon, it's $3 a month. It's a cup of coffee. It helps me out. But all right, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.